Hi, welcome to another season of Beat the Child Reviews, and today I finally had the chance to see X.
You're not scared of me? I always believed I couldn't be the only person who was different.
Do we really have to wear these?
Xmen First Class.
X-Men First Class is actually a really solid, great superhero movie. I liked it a lot, but there were a couple flaws that were kind of bugging me. Like, it didn't seem like all of it was made with the previous movies in mind. For example, this is a prequel to the other three movies, or the other four movies rather. And in the first one, first X-Men, there's Mystique, and she tries to assassinate Professor Xavier at one point. And in this movie, Mystique and Professor Xavier had like a really close relationship, like almost brother and sister. And it doesn't quite make sense to me on why, if they're this close here, why she would want to assassinate him later. Because even Magneto, who seemed to be Professor X's main archenemy throughout the comics and here, always had a soft spot for him. And we've seen that in the third one where he says, the greatest tragedy of all this is that Professor X had to die just for our cause to live. But they never really wanted him dead, so I don't see why Mystique would want him dead if she was actually that close. And the movie does end off transitioning into the greater movies where they choose their sides with Magneto. That's not a spoiler. Everyone should already know that that's potentially going to happen. So even in the end, when Mystique chooses to go with Magneto, she's not bitter about Charles Xavier at all. So it doesn't really make sense to me on like why they would make her so close with him in this movie just to turn her into like the vicious evil chick that she turns out to be in the next three movies chronologically. Also, I thought Kevin Bacon was a bit of a miscast. He's supposed to be the most dangerous mutant in this. He's the head villain, but he doesn't look threatening at all. Like, there's nothing threatening about Kevin Bacon. He's not a scary guy. And I guess you can argue that he was just supposed to be the brains of the operation in this, because he had other mutants who were just kind of like do his dirty work for him, like Azazel, who looked like the devil. And if the devil's walking up to you, you're basically just going to have to do whatever the fuck he says. And yeah, but Kevin Bacon himself, like, he's supposed to seem like he has all this power, and he does with his mutant ability, but he was able to push people around and threaten them and all this, and I didn't believe that. I don't believe that if Kevin Bacon told me to do something, I'm not going to listen to him. I feel like I can just talk right back to him and he'll back down, and he still looked like that in this whole movie. What I did like about the movie is it kind of does, it takes place during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I always like movies like that that kind of like take real historical events and kind of change it up, and in this movie it did that and does it really well. There's also a few playful cameos featuring Rebecca Romaine Stamos, who played Mystique in the other movies, and then Wolverine, or Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine. And all the cameos are pretty fun. They're not like too wild and uncalled for. They're just there and funny to laugh at. All the action is good. Casting's pretty much decent other than the Kevin Bacon one. I did think there was a weird flaw with Magneto though too, now that I think about it. It just doesn't seem like the way Magneto is portrayed in this movie that he would become the Magneto that's in the later movies. Because like Professor Xavier, the way James McAvoy played Professor Xavier, you can definitely see like that's Professor Xavier. But Magneto in this one, he's just like a ruthless, like out of control, violent guy. And in the later movies he wasn't. He was more smart about things. He was more intelligent about things. He used violence, but it wasn't as reckless as Magneto is in this movie. So I didn't really feel like the character was really Magneto. It was just a reckless dude. But the movie's really good. It's really solid. I liked a lot of it. I love the action. It's really intelligent, really well developed. All the characters are pretty well developed. And yeah, really solid movie. Give it an 8. I definitely recommend seeing it when it comes out on DVD. It's already been out for quite a few times. I had to go see it at the Dollar Theater, so it should be coming out on DVD soon. Definitely recommend picking it up.